Okay, let's take a look at the score you're about to be quizzed on. In this score, you can see that I have 9 measures. Measures 1 through 9. The measures are columns. In Google Sheets, we'd call that column 1, but in music, as a conductor, it's called a measure. So, if you're looking across and you want to see what every instrument's doing in measure 1, you can do a search from top to bottom. Or if you want to search measure 8, you would look at top to bottom to see what instruments are playing. As you look down the left-hand side of the page, you see the instruments are organized by family, which is always the order: woodwind, brass, percussion, strings. And within each family, the instruments are listed. Flutes, oboe, clarinet, and bassoons are the woodwinds. French horn and the trumpet are the brass. Your percussion instrument is your timpani. And your violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, bass are your string instruments. If we look from left to right, we can see specifically what each instrument is doing. For instance, the flute in the upper row goes left to right. We musicians call that a part. So you would say the flutes are playing the top part, that row. Again, it's called a part. The number 2 next to the word flute indicates there's 2 people playing flutes. They're both playing that same musical part. There are 2 people playing oboe, and they're playing one part. There are 2 people playing clarinet, playing that one part, and there are 2 people playing a bassoon, and they're both following that part. So if you look at the woodwinds, you see that you have 2, 4, 6, 8 instrumentalists, but there are only 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 woodwind parts. Again, the parts are rows, what you would call a row in Google Sheets. Okay, let's do a practice session. If on the quiz you were asked, which instrument family, the woodwind, brass, percussion, or strings, is playing in a given measure, like let's say measure 9, you'd have to do a top to bottom search. You'd have to look at the top of the 9th measure, drag your finger down, and even if you don't read musical notes, you still can identify who has notes. And you would see that nobody in the top here, the middle, only till you get to the bottom do you see notes. The bottom rows have notes. You would then drag your finger over and identify that the strings are the only instrument family playing in the 9th measure. If you were asked to find an instrument and identify in which measures of the 9 it plays, you'd have to do a left to right search. For instance, if I looked at the flute, I would isolate or just look at the flute row, or what we call part, and you would go from left to right. You see that the flute plays in the 1st measure, the 2nd measure, the 3rd measure, nothing in the 4th, nothing in the 5th, and the 6th plays in the 7th, nothing in the 8th, nothing in the 9th. So the flute only plays in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th measures of the piece. Make sure you do the right kind of search. If you're searching for all instruments, top to bottom. If you're searching for a specific instrument, search left to right on the quiz. Good luck!